Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here to watch me live here on Facebook and also on YouTube. And I want to say thank you to everybody who is going to watch the replay of this on both of those platforms. So, real quick, I'm going to head and share this to my personal page because I'm live on my Facebook like page under Tieesha Essex. So, I'm going to share it to my personal page, let everybody know that I am live. But I just want to say thank you, everybody, and ask, how are you doing? And yes, tonight you may have been thrown off by the title of this video. And I did that for a reason because I finally get to be a nerd. I just got some new glasses, so I took them off because I made my eyes look really big with as close as I am to the camera. So I kind of took it off. But I finally get to talk about this piece of paper that's on the wall behind me. I get to talk my language of psychology and how it applies to my real life and the life that we're living in right now with lockdown, and a lot of people are nervous on life after lockdown and how to they call it a new normal. But once you take a step back, I don't mean to like quote pop culture, but you kind of step out of the matrix and see what's really going on. You're like, we never had a normal to begin with. This has been a very abnormal place, a very abnormal matrix that we're in right now. So if you're here, let me know. I just want to say thank you to everybody who is here, all my moderators. Thank you so much for what you do. So if you have any questions, like I said, I'm not going to bore you coming from textbook. I'm going to try to put it in, layman's terms, everyday terms for us to, understand. And like I said, I don't know it all. I was a B student. So talking about psychology and how the mind works, behaviors, things like that, that just makes me a nerd, and that's what I do. But I wanted to tell you about the thumbnail that I put up for this video. And it was shared by someone here in Georgia, where it was this line of sisters outside of this nail shop. And I'm looking at the picture, and the reason why there was a line wrapped around the building was because they were only allowing 2 into the shop at a time. So they were outside waiting for their chance to go in there and get their manicure and pedicure services. Sister Libby Lee Turner, how are you doing? I love your videos. Y'all go over and check out her channel. She is a new YouTuber. So yes, welcome. And the full picture, I had to crop it for the thumbnail, but I'll share it on Facebook and I'll put it on the community tab here on YouTube. There was a damaged car. Like someone, I don't know if they crashed their car on the way there or if it's been crashed, but obviously getting to the nail shop was more important than fixing that damaged front end of that vehicle. Sister Latifah, love you so much. Thank you for joining me from New Jersey. So yeah, I was thinking about like, wow, I was just trying to think of this behavior. And like I said, I'm not coming down on my sisters. I'm not coming down on my community because that was me. I used to be there. Like, I was thinking like, how can I describe this? And how I've been observing our movements during quarantine, during this whole lockdown time is we're in a Skinner box. And in the words of the great Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, and I believe Amos Wilson has said it as well, we Black people, we've always been in a Skinner box. Our movements are so predictable, like we are. And when I'm looking at this picture, you could tell that, okay, their movements, they got their stimulus check. So let's go get our nails done. Let's go and get some food. Let's go and, re-up the liquor. Let's go and, get our vices. Let's go participate in our escapism and go back to the house. That's pretty much the Skinner box that, a lot of us are in. And once we start doing things outside of the options, and that's what these things are, is options. As you notice, during this time that we've been on lockdown, our only options for being in our Skinner box is, okay, you can go visit family, you can go seek emergency medical services, you can go get food, you can go exercise, and you can go home. That was our options in our Skinner box. And for some people, the people that are like going really crazy, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Like, these are all of my options. Those are the ones who have taken on this, what is it, classical conditioning, or what is it, operant conditioning. And I'm going to tell you about classical conditioning, okay? Classical condition is presenting like controlled options for an animal to respond to. So you can pull this lever or press this button to get, you know, some kind of food, or no, yeah, Pavlov's dogs. That's the way I can explain it. So classical conditioning is like, okay, when you hear a bell ring, or no, a bell ring for our children in school, they're sitting there in class. They may not have a clock to look up to, but they know when that bell rings and it's time to get up and go to another class. Or though, if it's a certain tone, that's a fire alarm. These are things that become classical conditioning. So another form of classical conditioning is our cell phones. When you hear a certain tone, that means you have a text message. A certain tone, you have an email. A certain tone, it's your alarm to wake up. A certain tone is an Amber Alert. A certain tone is a phone call. You know what I'm saying? So yes, we are Pavlov's dogs. Like, we're conditioned to respond a certain way every day. These things have groomed us to where it's like our classical conditioning and our reactions are so predictable now, okay? So when you get that alert that, hey, some money has hit my account, my stimulus, let's go, and we are predicted to go and give these people our money, give those people our money, give those people our money. Like, that's us being in a Skinner box. We've been trained to react that way. And I want to talk to you about changing that behavior. And what was it? It was put out to me. What was it? No, it made me think about when I lived in Hawaii. And here in the US, those of us who live in areas that receive seasons or experience seasons, we know when it starts getting cold outside. Okay, we know it's fall. The leaves are going to start falling off the trees. It's going to get even colder. Then that's when they're going to start playing holiday music in the stores. And then we know right after that, we have the new year. Well, when I lived in Hawaii, it was my birthday. And I'm like, okay, it's hot enough to go to the beach and put on a bikini. You know, so that's when I started to program my mind in different ways. Like, okay, I don't want to observe holidays. I don't want to do this. I don't want to cook a turkey, because if I cut on my oven, you know, in Honolulu, my house is going to get up to about 90 degrees, you know? So you start programming your mind to do different things. And once I started learning about different ways to shape behavior, this happened when I worked as a behavior interventionist. I worked with children who were diagnosed on the autism spectrum. And it was a thing called ABCs, antecedent, behavior, and consequence. And so let me know if you have any questions so far, if I'm going over your head, if I'm rambling. But I'm going to take a moment and give a shout out to a Black-owned business. This is, I want to show you, like, I'm all glowing and stuff because I just used products from this Black-owned business that's here in Atlanta. It's called Swabble. That was my first comment. They sent me a body butter. Not sure if you could see it because my ring light is on really, really bright. And they sent me a body scrub and also a body butter. Oh my gosh, this stuff smells amazing. Like, yes, it's all natural ingredients. And this one here, the body scrub is called Go Shawty. It's Sherbet Day. So it's made with cocoa butter, shea butter, and fresh orange seeds. And this one here is the body scrub. It has everything from shea butter to cocoa butter, coconut oil, mango oil, apricot, whole bunch of good stuff. So make sure you check them out. Yes, I'm glowing. See, you know, they hooked your girl up. So yeah, today was like my spa day because, you know, I have my beautiful thunderstorms outside. So I was like, let me just relax and chill and be calm today and, you know, zen out and be a nerd. So yes, make sure you go check out Swabble. They are, like I said, it's a local company here in Atlanta. Shout out to them. They are the sponsors behind tonight's video. So I will also do Instagram post on them as well. So make sure you check them out. Thank you for your comments, Libby and Sky. Peace, reflections to you. Now, I left off with antecedent behavior and consequence. Now, let me tell you, I still have issues. Like, I know for test purposes, for exams, I have to, accept this. I don't know. I don't want to call it theory, but I have to accept this. But in my personal life, I'm having such a hard time grasping this concept. It is this quote: "There's no bad people. There's just bad behavior." And the reason why I have such a hard time accepting that in my personal life is because some people, they just appear to be just evil to the core. Just, I don't want to quote the song, but bad to the bone, like just an evil person. But this is a thing where there's no bad people, just bad behavior. So when it comes to the ABCs, the antecedent, the behavior, and the consequence, it's known as the ABCs. So let's say we have an act. Let's say the behavior that we want to change is I just intentionally crack my cell phone screen. Just I know this, intentionally just crack the joker. But that right there is the behavior, the actual act. So the antecedent is what happened prior to it. So let's say prior to me breaking my cell phone screen, I saw a spider on it, I guess. We can do it like that. Okay, there was a spider on it. So my reaction is to try to kill the spider, but I cracked my cell phone screen. So the consequence, what happens afterwards? Either, I oh, okay, I can just go get a new cell phone. So I get the reward of getting a new cell phone after I crack the screen. Versus, what happens prior to it. Maybe I need to, spray for spiders. Maybe I need to put a screen on the window. Maybe I need to, close the front door so that spiders aren't coming in here and crawling on my cell phone screen. Therefore, I crack it. Maybe I can learn to, swat it or, blow it off instead of cracking my cell phone screen. Or maybe, my consequence is, I have to forego something I really like purchasing, a cake, and so I won't get my cake because I have to pay for a cell phone at full price versus, paying a couple $100s for insurance. That might be a crappy example, but that's the ABC. So how do we change our behaviors within the Skinner box for our betterment, And with the thumbnail that I put on here with all the sisters lined up behind the nail shop, how do we curb that behavior? It's one way, yes, it's progress when we do it like each individual person. And shout out to everybody who has subscribed or watched my videos of me shaving off my hair and my updates. I get so many comments where I get feedback that someone has just shaved their head and they just did a big chop, and it's just so rewarding to see us, change our behavior. And that's a behavior change, our behavior from seeing ourselves where we have to alter ourselves, spend out, great amounts of money to, look a certain way, to alter ourselves when we're beautiful. Our hair is beautiful the way it grows out of our hair. And thank you so much for the compliments from Libby and Brother Daryl. It's good to always see you. So that's one thing we have to change, that behavior. My behavior that I had to change, when I saw myself in the mirror, is okay, I had to tell myself I'm beautiful every day. Like when I caught my reflection, whether it's walking up the street, in the car, now this is dangerous, don't do this, but I purposely angled my rear view mirror to see myself. And each time I stopped at a traffic light, I just said positive things to myself, because you have to build yourself up. And I just want to say, it also helps, and thank you to everyone, right now, just to give each other compliments. I make sure that when I see a sister or I leave a message, I'm either, hey, gorgeous, hey, lovely, hey, beautiful, to my brothers, hey, handsome brother, hey, handsome man. I got to be careful because, you know, I'm a mom and my son or something. He's like, Mom, what's wrong with you? You know, so I got to make sure I watch that. But I'm like, but him, you know, I speak positive things to him. And that was a little psychology thing from the previous video I did, you know, about just speaking positive things. But that right there is antecedent behavior and consequence, you know, just changing that behavior and seeing yourself different and getting a different reward and things like that. So still going off on a tangent and rambling, but I'm sorry. So yes, I said that we're in a Skinner box. And so you notice how our Skinner box consists of like, okay, first lever or button is our job. Okay, we go to our job, they give us just enough to come back and, you know, not enough to quit. Okay, but when we have a job, brother KG, Kareem, how are you doing? So when you go to your job, you get paid just enough to come back. So what you accepted on a job, whether it's your salary, what you get paid per hour, you know, that's the value that you put on yourself and the worth of the product, the service that you provide. So, okay, we go to our jobs, we hit that lever, and a few weeks later, we get paid. So when we get paid, our classical conditioning has sent us to go get food, to go participate in escapism, and go contribute to debt. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much what we do. Like, we're so predictable. And if you lose that job, what do? You go get another one, you go get another one, and you continue living in your very own Skinner box. So how do you get out of that Skinner box? That's the question. Okay. What some people do, what I've taken steps towards, and what a lot of people do is like, okay, let's eliminate one of the levers. So they're expecting us to go and hit that debt button. Okay, let's not do that. Okay. So yeah, what about to say? Forgot what I was about to say. Okay, yeah, the debt button. So a lot of people are not participating in debt, and I heard this from somebody who works in HR. They were saying that when they are looking at an applicant and they want to ask you about yourself, and you start rambling like, "Oh, I just got married, I bought a new home, blah blah blah," they know that you're not gonna leave. You're not going to put as much of a fight or be too much of a hassle on a job because you got a mortgage. You got a new mortgage. You got a new baby to take care of. You got a new wife. You want to go take her on vacations or your spouse on vacations. So they know that you're going to, you know, put up with a lot of stuff. And I'm like, okay. And you won't take any risk as far as, you know, standing up against injustice, renegotiating the salary. You want to just kind of be comfortable, you know. Let me know if that's true, if you also have heard that. So my thing of it is, hang on one second, I'll be right back with them. I'm gonna pause this real quick. Thank you so much. I had to take care of something. So when you lost it. Yeah. So when you go and like you get out there and you get a job, think about not going to go take on extra debt. I know in the military, and Kareem can vouch for this, is first thing you do when you join the military, you go get you a new car, you go get you a Camaro, get you something that you can't afford. And there's so many vultures out there to, you know, take your money. We want your money. We welcome military and all this other stuff. You still end up with a crappy deal. You really do. And I had met somebody a couple weeks ago. He was active duty, and he said that he recommends for his those within his command to not purchase a vehicle that is more than half of their annual salary. And I'm like, that makes sense. That makes sense because you'll just have enough money to make the payments and not do anything else. If it breaks down and, you know, things like that, something like that's really cool. And plus too, you know, you can pay it off a lot faster. Libby says, I live in a right to work state. I'll leave them in a heartbeat if my rights are infringed upon. There you go. There you go. And another way to come out of that is when it comes to escapism. Right now, a lot of people are going crazy because they can't participate in escapism the way they're used to. I'm cool. I'm chilling. Like my home is where I want to be. Like it feels so good to really get all the money I'm paying in rent's worth. You know, I'm up here, I'm doing my businesses, I can take a nap. I'm really enjoying what this place has to offer. And a lot of people that bothers them, like they want to leave their home and go do something else, whether it's go to the nightclub. I'm like, okay, there's really nothing happening there. I saw a lot of dudes that I had to kind of unfriend. I mean, I know here in Atlanta that, you know, the strip club is the thing, but come on now, bro. Come on, bro. All right. Like, it was like they were fiending. Like, they were really hurting that the strip club was closed. And so they just went over to Instagram and fans only pages. So, yeah, I ain't got the okay. But the escapism, they know that we're going to go bleed out our money and do that. When you look at other people who go and participate in these things, I remember my brother with his dealership, he will like they go and buy I guess it's called like a skybox or something for the sports teams, but that's a company purchase, not an individual purchase. I'm like, oh, okay, that's how y'all do it. And then they invite certain people, certain people from other companies, and it's a tax write-off. I'm like, that's how you do it. Because as individuals, you'll see people who are like die hard this sports team out, and they don't own not one piece of that sports team. And you just look at how much money you done dumped into it. Like, I actually laugh at people now who are sad that there's no NFL and NBA and MLB. I just laugh and I'm like, you don't own none of it, you know? Why do you care? Shout out, speaking of the NFL, shout out to my husband in my mind. I know I have two. Marshawn Lynch, today is his birthday. So shout out to him. There was a video that was shared earlier. He's spending his birthday passing out face masks in Oakland. So shout out to him. And ESPN tried to hate on him. So I'm pretty sure I'm probably blocked off the page, but I don't care. Another one is, like I was saying, you pay your bills. Take a look at your bills, okay? We're expected to go and take on these new subscriptions. What was it? Most recently, it was the whole Disney Plus. Everybody, I got Disney Plus. I got Disney Plus. I don't see people bragging about Disney Plus right now. People are, said, hey, what's playing on the Fire Stick? See, to go and take on these subscriptions and add to your monthly bills, you have to really review what it takes to live off of. What do you absolutely need in your daily, monthly, yearly life? And do you make enough money to cover those with or without your job? I took a look at things that I have here. I'm like, wow, I really only need this much to live on a month. And I did that a while back. And that's when I saw that I had money to, kind of invest in my businesses. I'm like, okay, I can, do this. I can invest in inventory. It was just amazing when I started cooking at home, doing my own hair, doing my own nails, and I really just stayed in the house. Like, living in Washington really put me in isolation, not only with the things that were, just happening around me, but like I said, isolation is good. So those who come out of this so-called lockdown, if they really have nothing to show for it, they're just really wasting time. And this time was all for nothing. So another one is so we just talked about not participating in escapism, paying your bills, not taking on any extra debt. And we're going to talk about the job situation. So Libby, like I said, how are you doing? Solo dolo, B1. Get rid of the cable and get your Roku or something. I'm kicking myself. I'm really, really mad at myself because I did not buy Roku like 2 years ago. I'm so mad because I was like, nah, I don't know. I'm just looking at it. So I let Roku rag. I didn't invest in it. I was so mad. And it really makes me mad because I was the Roku on my sorority line. So I'm like, shoot, man, why didn't I just have a nerd moment and pay attention? But it's all good. I invested in some other stuff, which is good. Now, speaking of your job, I know I always leave y'all with a good book, and I'm like the book nerd. I'm like, for real, a book hoarder. But this was when Dr. Claude Anderson was on the Breakfast Club. I think this was earlier this year. I know it was either the end of last year or the beginning of this year when he was on the Breakfast Club. And I realized I did not have any of his books. So I went ahead and I purchased Black Labor, White Wealth. And it really got me thinking. It really put something on my mind. I'm like, okay, if on the job I'm getting paid this salary, I must be bringing in this company at minimum 3 times that amount. So instead of getting paid pennies on the dollar, why don't I find a way to make myself the business and monetize my service instead of being an employee, but to be the business, to be the contractor, and things like that. So when you think of it, and this actually hit me. When did this hit me? It hit me while I was a teenager, or whenever I would go to the store. Y'all know when I just turned 18, right before I joined the Navy, I was probably working there for like a month and a half. I worked at Kroger's. And yeah, I'm from Cincinnati. It's called Kroger's, okay? Not Kroger. We call it Kroger's. I worked at Kroger's and I was a cashier. And I want to say at that time, I was probably getting about $7 or $8 an hour. But I would ring up an order upwards of a couple $100s. So I'm like, me getting paid my $7, but I just rang up this entire order that was over $100. So I'm making them this much money while they're paying, and this is like within, I'll say 5 to 10 minutes, I just make them a couple $100, but I'm giving them an entire hour for $7 before taxes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, that's when it clicked, like, okay, I don't want to be on the plantation no more. I really don't. I'm like, this ain't cool. And so how I continue to maintain my Skinner box, okay, I will leave this one and this will pay me a little bit more. I will go and I will learn more skill, or I'll acquire this knowledge or this degree or whatever. And I just keep auctioning myself to the highest bidder versus, okay, be the business person. I can hire this many employees and I can be the business versus contributing to Black labor and white wealth. There was an episode on a broadcast on the Black channel. Shout out to everybody that's here from the Black channel. And it was an episode about the Clorox plant here in Atlanta. And it showed the commercial that Clorox made. And it really was just like a modern day plantation. You had Black people operating the forklifts, actually hands-on with the products. They were doing all the work, but yet, you had white people that was supervising management. They had a corner office. It's like, wow, okay, this is the plantation all over again. So during this time of lockdown, it should really be on your mind, those of us who aren't there yet, to really think about, monetizing ourselves. We are the business. Let's not be affected by another lockdown or a shutdown like this again, where you're really surviving on $40 a day. That's what your $1,200 stimulus check came out to, was $40 a day. So, somebody had called it a whole check. And so, yeah, just really, really think about this whole Skinner box thing. Think about your life. Our total existence as being in a freaking Skinner box, okay? You are expected to, pull this lever. Something happens, your reaction is this. When your children turn this age, you put them in a school, you do this, you do that, and that continues to show your classical conditioning and how you're contributing to just being an animal in this Skinner box, if that makes sense. I hope that with all this rambling and all this stuff, I kind of gave you a peek into, the psychology side, behaviors, just what's happening in society. I don't know it all. I'm still learning. Like, I'm still a baby in this. I really am. And, but yeah, if I can leave you with a couple of books, I told you, Black Labor, White Wealth. And this book here, I was listening to Brother Jeremiah Kamara today. He was on the Carl Nelson show, and I had a chance to call in and speak to him today. So I'm like so happy. He is the author of Holy Lockdown. Does the church limit Black progress? I was going to talk about that tonight, but I'm gonna save that. Because I just keep getting a influx of ideas and different things I want to research before I get into that. But make sure you check out his movies on Amazon Prime. You have Holy Lockdown, and you have Holy Hierarchy, the racist roots in Christianity and religion, and you also have Contradiction. So those are some good movies for y'all to watch tonight, okay? But he mentioned Donald Sterling on how employers think of us as Black people on the job. And so they were saying that that phone conversation, it shared exactly what's on the mind of him. And just know there's many others who think like him and treat us accordingly, okay? So I had to buy this book again. So I always tell y'all that I loan my books out. Don't loan your books out, okay? But I had to buy it again. And this book has him on the cover, and it's called How White Folks Got So Rich, The Untold Story of American White Supremacy. So make sure you check out this book. It's available on Amazon. Don't loan it out. If someone else wants to read it, you can give it to them. I give them the link to go and purchase it. But I'm gonna leave you with page 60 to 61. It talks about unemployment insurance and how that was it was not available for Black people. So it keeps on putting us, to remain at the bottom of society. So, we keep doing the same things over and over. It's insanity because you have to come out of this position of being the bottom people on the totem pole. And that also starts with observing what's going on in politics. I don't talk about politics on this channel, but, I'm pointing you to some other directions that can talk about it more, I don't want to say elegantly because I don't want it to be like, okay, we're going to get things sugar coated, but more effectively than I can. So make sure you head over to the Black channel. Make sure you head over to Professor Black Truth and also to Rick Nasheed. Make sure you also connect with some other people that's associated with them so that you can really get, those hard facts because, the brothers serve it up. All right. Kareem said, Marquise Houston, how are you doing? It's always good to see your wonderful smile, V1. Thank you. Kareem said, it's why I call the Navy ships a steel plantation. Exactly. Like, my mom to this day, like, she believes that I'm sitting on millions because I was in the military. I'm like, Mom, no. She thought that I made so much money. You can actually go on Google and type in the pay scales for active duty military. And when I was in, I think like one paycheck was like $400. Yes, $400. It was tough. That's why you live on a boat, And so yeah, Kareem, I'm looking forward to your project when you go ahead and release that. That's gonna be great. Moises Furtado says it's available on Kindle. Yes, thank you so much. Make sure you scoop up these books on Kindle as well. I am a nerd, so I like actually turning pages, but I have purchased some books but you can download samples of books on Amazon as well. So if you're not in a position to purchase, you can download a sample of a lot of books. So that's also available. So thank you for mentioning that as well. So that is about it. Once again, I'm going to have y'all go over to swabble.com and I'll type that in to pick up this Black owned skincare products. They have body butters, also the body scrub. I absolutely love them. As y'all see, like it has just over here just glowing and all types of good stuff, and it smells good too. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put some on, and when I decide to go somewhere, well, not even that, because I go to like places where not a lot of people are. So, but I'm pretty sure I'll get like a brother to follow me through the store, like, sister, what you got on? I'm like, don't laugh at me. I'm just happy to be here. Absolutely. So yes, thank you so much. I'm not going to hold y'all too long. I'm about to sound old when I say what I'm about to say. I'm fixing to go in the kitchen and fry up some fish. Yeah, I sound old in the mug, but it's okay. That's what I'm about to go do. I recently ate at Captain D's. There's no Captain D's where, I lived out in Washington. So as I got to Georgia, I'm like, oh, shoot, Captain D's. I pull up. Man, that Captain D's tastes like absolute garbage. So I'm going to go in here and make my own. So hopefully it turns out good, and if it does, I'll make a video the next time I cook fish. But yeah, really just get into the habit of doing for self, doing at home. There's nothing wrong with going to go get, a bottle of nail polish. I got a UV lamp. I have a video right here on YouTube that shows you how I do my nails at home. It's not the most expensive equipment, but it's what I was able to afford, and it does a great job. Like, I've had this polish on for a while. I think I know it's been like a full week now, and it's still there. We can do a lot of stuff on our own. We can now just imagine. We hit this point before I log off. Just imagine. Okay, so all those sisters went raggedy until the Asian nail shop opened up, and they're lined outside the door in a Georgia heating. And also, it's been thunderstorming too. They're outside waiting 2 by 2 to go up into here. Think about finding, like, I know a sister here in Atlanta who does nails. Just think how much money could have been cycled through our community had they called up a sister. And we have sisters in hair school all the time. We have sisters who just do nails out the house. We can support our own. Like, that money could have been cycled through our community. You know what I'm saying? So make sure when you do, if you find somebody that can provide a service, support them. And I just want to say shout out to everybody who has been placing orders to my Tieemonics store, Tieemonics.shop. Thank you so much. Like, y'all have literally had me at the post office almost every day. So I just want to say thank you so much for spreading the word. Shout out to my sister Catrell. She shares every post that I put on Facebook, and I know that she has sent me a lot of great people. So I just want to say thank you to her, and thank you to everybody who was here. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for just sharing the word, for networking with me, booking consultations, whether it's for self-defense or starting a YouTube channel. Thank you to my sister Art Kathy. Make sure you go to her channel. We are going to do a live video soon. I'm so happy. Make sure you go check her out. And let's use this time to really see how we can keep our money cycling through our community. If you still got a piece of your stimulus left, or if you still got some money, find a product that you need before you go out and purchase it from, the companies who closed their doors and sent their workers home. We find us who are still putting out products, who are still, supporting our community with things like that. And shout out to everybody who received free self-defense gear. I made sure that I connected with some people who were concerned about their self-defense. So I sent out some products. So yes, let's help each other. Let's grow. Let's network. One thing that I was also reading in the Compensatory Counter-Racist Code book by Neely Fuller Jr. is have constructive engagement. That's also helped me with, coming up with my topics on my channel. And when I interact with people, let it be constructive, okay? There's no time for nonsense, okay? It's time to be constructive. It's life or death, okay? We have people who, with a flick of a switch, homeless, hungry, and asked out. So let's flip that so that we're better prepared, in the future. And there's not really a new normal. It's just things, we're just becoming classically conditioned to operate in this abnormal society. All right. That's all I got for y'all tonight. Like I said, I'm fixing to go in here and fry up some fish, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. If you need any links, I'll put them in the description, and I will see you on the next videos. Thank you so much for watching. I love y'all, and I'll talk to you again.